Might be a conservation hypocrite. Well, you got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, and world that we live in. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you had a great weekend. Hey, moms, great job out there. Good job, moms. Yeah, we couldn't have done it without you. You did great. Hopefully, your family celebrated you, and hopefully you got some cool outdoor stuff. Yeah, because everybody, the moms like to get down in the outdoors too. I'll tell you that. So, and my apologies. I usually do in the 11 years we've been doing this program. I usually have a pre-Mother's Day, pre-Father's Day, not special, but an episode where I talk about really cool things in the outdoors to buy for mom and to buy for dad, and some kind of rules of the road kind of thing. I've been doing that for 11 years. Didn't do it. Moms, sorry, I let you down. So I'll make it up to you. Don't worry. I promise I'll make it up to you. Well, let's face it, every day should be Mother's Day. We should. And a good Monday to you too as well, Eddie. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for chiming in. What's up, Lynn? And please follow along the comments, comment as much as you can, and let's play along, participate in the program, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, X, whatever it is, just play along. They pop up right here in front of me, and we can engage and have a good time. At the top of the show, I said that if you're anything like me and you think you might be a conservation hypocrite, we got a home here. Well, yeah. Just a few weeks ago, I went on a little bit of a rant about salt licks and bird blocks, quail blocks, whatever, feeding the wild in your backyard and how bad that is. Guess who has a quail block in his backyard now? I do. You know why? Because my girlfriend listens to the show, and then magically I had a quail block. Like, ha ha. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. Because I was poo-pooing the whole thing. I'm still anti-salt lick for the ungulates, the deer, the elk, all of that. I hate it in some parts of the valley. I know that fictitious animal, what's that? It's a peccary. What's it called? Yeah, the javelina, completely fictitious animal. Every time I've hunted, never seen one. I think they're fake. But I hear that certain parts of the valley, quail blocks are a nice snack for a lot of the peccary around. Yeah. So I don't like that. I don't like feeding of the animals, especially when it comes to the bigger animals. But me doing what I do and just being yeah, sure, I'll do it. Okay. Yeah, I'll do it. Okay, fine. I put one in the backyard. It's pretty dang cool. I have been anti, and I got to tell you, I've been trying to do some research and finding out if I am completely jacking up the ecosystem in my backyard, because there's rabbit, there's quail, there's woodpeckers, there's every kind of finch, there's dove, there's a tortoise, Fernando tortoiseuela, my favorite tortoise, and there's bunnies, and my backyard is just chock full of cool things. So now it's chock full of a lot of birds because they're absolutely attacking this thing. And so I'm thinking, maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Maybe this isn't good. Maybe this is good. I do take solace in the fact that I know I'm not the only one. I mean, you can find these bird blocks at all the big box stores. You can find them anywhere. Quail blocks all over the place. You go to Cow Ranch, any of those, you get just a ton of them. Bird feeders galore. They're everywhere. Is this bad? No, I don't think it is. Let me tell you why. This is not bringing a population of animals like elk and things like that into a neighborhood like I've seen up north, where they have the salt licks and all of that. Salt licks aren't really giving the animals a huge level of sustenance. They're not relying on those salt licks to eat and to survive. But what it does is it congregates them into a certain area and takes them out of their natural habitat, which, by the way, we have taken over. Okay. Again, I'm a conservationist. I'm a capitalist as well. And I love the fact that Arizona is growing. Unfortunately, a bunch of California, never mind, we'll get into that some other show. But the Arizona is growing. Our population we're just booming, and it's fantastic. To do that, though, we need to take out a lot of natural habitats around the area. We need to build houses, build housing for all the peoples moving in. So if I am in a neighborhood, and by the way, my neighborhood has a giant golf course slammed right in the middle of it. I live on the course. It's right there. That land, all of that, plus the housing on top of that, good grief. We've taken these birds' spot. And I'm sure there's lots of trees. Well, there's two giant trees out behind my house that are like an airport, like a bird airport. It's crazy. It's a lot of fun to watch. But I'm thinking, okay, look, if I can give them a little snack, If they ain't gonna with these, gonna peck at these little seeds out of this thing, okay, all right. But what I say, what I say when I said, what I say, what I say when I said, Mama say, Mama say, Mama do something. No, hold on a second. Coffee will take care of that. Whew. What did I say when I was speaking of having those types of things in your yard and to kind of throw off the balance of conservation, the balance of nature? I said that it might invite predators in. I'm not lying. Look, I hunt birds, so I'm not. I love watching them. It's really cool watching. I'll show you some. I'll tell you about some cool things I've discovered. But if I see a hawk or an owl, that there's a few that live in my hood, they just run down, snatch a bird, and just take off while it's eating on a quail block. Okay, good. Everybody gets an equal opportunity. Everybody's equal opportunity for a snack. I think every bird should get a freebie every now and again. I think every animal should get a freebie every now and again. Heck, I got my boy Sabbath here, a little 890-pound lab. I'm giving him snacks all the time, spoiling the heck out of that guy late in his life. Telling you. Yeah. Can you hunt on the golf course? I actually, believe it or not, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for this. There are ways you can. I do not hunt on the golf course, Lynn. But there are certain things that you can do at certain times, and I'm not going to encourage it. But I will say this: it is illegal. It is illegal to discharge a firearm within a quarter mile of a structure, house, building, whatever. Kind of hard to find that on a golf course, but it is illegal to discharge a firearm. There you go. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm going to try not to get myself in trouble. What this has turned my backyard into is Lord of the Flies. It is a fascinating example of survival of the fittest, because there is a, Lynn, again, I said firearm, wink, there you go. There is and I'm not encouraging this, but there is a survival. There's a dominance that is going on. There's a, no pun intended, a pecking order that you see evolve very quickly around this thing. And it is impressive. It just is. It's cool to watch. It is a lot of fun to watch. There's a quail that sits on top of it. He's the dad. Mom and the 2 nuggets or 3 nuggets, however many's left of the 14 they started with, for the love of grief. He sits on top of it and lets mom and babies do their thing, and he will flex on anything that comes near it. Like mine. He's like, they call it quail block for a reason. Get moving, you little white wing scoop. Get moving, you little finch. Gone. Yeah. Scoop that, and he'll protect it, and he'll run other quail off, and then they'll be done with it, and they'll just go about their way, and then everyone else kind of jumps in. Then a pesky jerk of a white wing. I am so excited for dove season just because of watching what I'm watching right here. Doves are jerks. Dove are a bunch of jerks, especially this white wing is just flexing on everybody and running everybody off. And I don't know if it's the same one. I mean, they all look alike. So, but there's and there might be a couple of them, but it's always a white wing that's out there causing problems and jacking things up. And then I just go back to my little hummingbird feeder, because hummingbirds are my favorite bird. And I just say, everybody's getting along here. I don't understand why everybody's go fight over there. Look at this. These hummingbirds are just kind of going. Each of them has their little spot. They just kind of do their thing. And I'm telling you, I'm not worried about it. I actually saw doves mating today on top of the fence. I mean, it's now just, it's a hangout. It's a lot like, do you remember? I forget which XL pipeline or whatever pipeline it was in Alaska. And they're like, oh my gosh, building this pipeline is going to decimate the caribou population. Sign this petition. No pipeline. It's going to screw up conservation all the way around. The caribou population is almost tripled because the pipeline is warm. And so they congregate, they hang out around the pipeline and do what mommy and daddy caribou do. They make baby caribou, and they just kind of hang out. And it does what it does is also gives the predators a nice little spot to kind of hang out as well, because, wow, it's like a damn buffet. So that's what I got going on in the backyard right now, because I was a bit of a hypocrite and said, you know what I'm going to do? This is what I'm going to do. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a quail block. Yeah. Data conservationists, they said. But I'm just it's just fun to watch. It is. We're hanging out, having a drink, watching it last night in the sunset, and kind of the golden hour when they're all just moving around, eating and hustling and bustling. And got up this morning, did the same thing with coffee, hustling and bustling. It's fantastic. It was fantastic. Lynn, there's white dove and white winged dove. I'm talking about a white winged dove, like Stevie Nicks talks about or sings about. There. And I will ask. I commit this to you because I don't want to lead y'all wrong. What's up, Grizz? I don't want to lead y'all wrong. I will talk to a biologist at Game and Fish about this and get their opinion of it. And like, am I really screwing things up if I have a quail block in my backyard or 3? What, I got a decent sized backyard. I want in stereo here. Everybody gets their stuff. I got a couple more because I was like, everybody's fighting over this one. Why don't we put them on the corners and see if everybody can just kind of section off and kind of do their thing? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because I think that it's something that's fun to watch. I think it's something that I've seen some crazy stuff. I've never seen a bird like get its wings out and shake and just like kind of, flex on everybody else. That was so much fun to watch. I've seen rabbits get in fights. It's like Fight Club in my backyard. I have an animal fight club in my backyard. What's rule number 1 of a fight club? Don't talk about Fight Club. Rule number 2 is only talk about it on the Go Show. Fight Club. The Russell Animal Fight Club in the back of that'd be a good t-shirt. I might do that. The Go Show Fight Club. Coming soon. Got some merch coming soon, so I hope you guys are ready for that. Let's something that I saw that was pretty disturbing over the weekend. I would love to chat with you all about. I am a fan of offshore fishing. Offshore fishing is actually the one sport that brought me into the outdoors. Y'all, I was raised in Southern California, and I went to high school out here in Arizona, but I wasn't raised as an outdoor kid. I was a gym rat. I played basketball year round, and anyway. So I didn't spend a lot of time in the outdoors. My grandfather took me out several times, had a great time, but there was one offshore fishing trip. I'm like, this, I don't want to go inside anymore. I want to play outside. I want to do every kind of outdoor activity I could possibly do. Let's go. So I'm a huge. I'm big into when a therapist put me onto visualization, like just kind of go to that spot. And I always kind of laughed at that stuff. It's kind of like frou-frou. It's kind of a little hippie-ish. And, until I tried it, and I'm like, okay. And then I talked to a professional baseball player about it. And he goes, oh, no. He goes, I will sit in the dugout. I will sit in the clubhouse, and I will have my eyes closed. And all I'm doing is visualizing myself hitting home runs. That's it. If I'm having a bad streak, I'm not hitting the ball, I'm not seeing the ball well. He goes, I will go in there and I will close my eyes and I will see that ball coming at me like it's a watermelon. Because I will visualize. I'll see the seams. I'll see the bat, and it works. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it a try. So where was my happy place when Mike wants to calm down? I'm sitting on the back of an offshore boat, and we're just driving out to our spot. I see the small wake behind, the whitewash behind me, and it's just that hum of the engine, just kind of the mellow, the kind of back and forth of the waves. Sends me, darn near puts me to sleep, but it calms me down. It gets me right in a nice focus, and I can just pop back in to whatever's coming on and hanging out with you guys or just doing whatever I have to do. So I'm a huge offshore guy. So when I saw this, I got upset. And then I got even more upset when I saw who was filming this boat captain. This boat captain was in a lot of heat, getting a lot of heat, a lot of hot water. And no, it's not one of those. The internet ablaze today about a boat captain. No, it's just people were ticked off on social media and whatever. There's hundreds of millions of people on social media, and if 8 of them get fired up, they're like, "Oh, it's trending." And no, it's not. It's an algorithm, people. Anyway, I saw this and I was upset because of the kiddos. Let me pull this up because this is an example of stuff that you just don't want to see. Now, I'm going to give you a warning, give you a 5-second warning here. There's some profanity. There's some F-bombs here. And I didn't want to bleep them out because you're going to see at the end who's filming this, and you're going to see why you see who's filming this. Not bleeping them out. There's some profanity here, so just buckle up. Ready? I'm going to give you 3, 2, 1. This is what it is right here.
Fuck! Right, so let's just go back. I am going back!
Just leave it.
Fucking talk to me, you don't fucking listen for shit! I done told you, listen.
Look at these kids. These are kids. See those feet? Those legs? These little kids.
I'm listening to you, bro! Okay, all right. I do this every fucking day! Every day! Okay, yeah, you made yourself clear. Okay, I hope I did! You're on with it. Never have I ever had a trip like this. Okay. Whole fucking life of this.
Never had a trip. Turning the boat around. You're done. Your day's done. Look at it. See, those are young kids. That's why I'm telling you this is important. See those young kids? See, you tell those, if you're a parent, you understand that those are kids. And that's the thing. Okay. So you see the kids over there. This is why it's important to have a talk about this. And Grizz, that's right. You're like, damn, man, dude, ease up. Okay. And I'm like, if I'm that dad, hey, think about this now. You're dad, you're on that small center console boat. You got your two kids with you, or maybe a kid and a friend, one of your kids' friends. They seem young. Again, as a parent, you look down at those shoes and those feet, you know, those aren't even teenagers. And you think, you're trapped. So immediately I'm thinking, this guy, you got to be in a boat now, unless you call the Coast Guard. You need to be in a boat with this guy all the way back whence you came. And this is just absolute, you think, oh my God, this is awful. And yeah, the kids will never want to go to a boat again. It will definitely get to this. Definitely true. But how about that dad? Again, you're like, now I'm here with an unhinged boat captain. He's screaming at me. And we have to drive the boat back, all the way back to where we came. Look, this isn't like you do the 70, 80 miles an hour and get back to where you came. It's not like you're on land. Not like they flew out there. Boats take a long time to get where they get. Boats do not go fast. I mean, they're relatively fast, but I mean, it takes a hot minute to get back. And then you got to dock the boat. It's quiet and it's weird. And you're getting off. Everything is just weird about this. And I felt bad for the dad and the kids. And the guys getting yelled at. So these kids are scared out of their mind. Okay, one. Then two, go to what Eddie was saying here. I always say, as you talk about camping, I get accused of glamping quite a bit. Not glamping where it's like some giant tent and these, bedding and all this stuff like that. But I don't like to rough it. And there's a reason why I don't like to rough it. One of the reasons, several reasons. One of the reasons I don't like to rough it is if I take anyone camping, I don't want them to have a miserable experience. I want them to want to come back. I want them to come back. So I want them to be comfortable. I don't want them to be hanging out at a barbecue going, yeah, Mike took me camping. Man, it was absolutely miserable. We laid on the ground at night. It just sucked. There was bugs. We had mosquitoes all over us. It was just the worst. That person is never going camping again. Instead of jumping in the jumping jack, having some nice food, a nice campfire, some nice drinks, and everybody's happy. Nice hikes, nice fishing during the day. Like everything is kind of just done up for this newbie camper, and they're going to want to come back. So again, you go to what Eddie was saying here and that's that the kids are there. Those kids might never set foot ever on a boat again, ever. You know what I'm never going to do again? Sail. I'm not a sailor. I'm from the Southwestern United States. I'm not from the Northeast. Northeast, that's like, intercourse to them up there. They love sailing. Sailing's everything. Sailing is life up there. My father, not once, twice, made my sister and I go on out in San Diego. He took a little 2-hour class or a 1-hour class or something like that. And he's Captain Sailor and he's Captain Ahab. Now he wants to take us out, and we capsized both times. One, we were stuck on this berm or island or something like that. I just remember, I'm like, we don't have any food. And this guy, he just absolutely flips us each and every time and thinks, okay, kids, now get into this water, which is about waist deep. We have to flip the boat back over. I'm never sailing again. So I see these kids on this video, and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way they're going to say, yeah, that time we went out with Dad and the boat captain lost his mind, scared the hell out of all of us, and dragged us back in. It was silent. No one was talking. Actually, all we heard was the captain rumbling from the steering wheel. Was, raggle, fraggle, snaggle, raggle, fraggle, right? That's it. They're not coming back. They're not coming back at all. What about that boat captain? Think that boat captain's got a job? If that's his boat, you think he's going to get, what kind of Yelp review is this guy going to leave? He just, you know what I mean? He's going to say, just watch this video. That's this captain. That is this captain. And as the captain needs to know, if he watched the Go Show, he knows that we're in the business of what in the outdoors? Conservation and winning hearts and minds. That's our job. That's what we are here to do. We're here to win hearts and minds. We are here that all of those people, by the way, in the boat, the fuel for the boat itself, the tackle, everything is contributing to financing conservation around the nation. So in all 50 states, they rely on people doing this for the taxing, for the excise tax that funds conservation. So they're all participating, except for these two kids. These two kids aren't going to go do this anymore. These kids aren't going to participate in the model anymore. Why would they ever want to do that? And this boat captain, you're going to get a Yelp review that just no one's going to want to support that captain. No one's going to want to be anywhere near that captain. I wouldn't. And I'm seasoned offshore fisherman. But I would no way in the world I'd charter this guy. And by the way, boat stands for break out another 1,000. Yeah. So if you get the idea to get like a center console and do a lot of ocean fishing and things like that, leave that to the people that do that all year and maintain the boat and the insurance and all that stuff like that. Just, pay the couple $100 a couple times a year. It'll save you a ton of money. So yes, charters are the best way to go, hands down, except for this guy. Now, here's where we get a whole spin in this. And I'm going to play this one more time so y'all can see it. So you know what I'm talking about. Here we go. One more time. So again, there's profanity here. So if you want to turn it off, it's okay. I'll give you 3 seconds to do that and just get you caught up. And then I'm going to give you the whole curveball here. Here we go.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Go back. I am going back.
I am going back. Yeah.
Fucking
Did you hear that kid? Kid's like 7, 8.
I done told you, listen to me. You keep telling me, listen to me, listen to me. I ain't fucking listening to you, bro. Okay, all right. I do this every fucking day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Okay, yeah, you made yourself clear.
Okay, I hope I did.
Okay. And then a little bit of silence after that. But the kid's filming it with his phone. He's just it's horrible. It's a terrifying scene. It is. Now you get to find out why the boat captain was freaking the bleep out. You ready for this? Okay. So prior to him freaking out, he told the dad, do not go anywhere near this console. You stay away from the steering, the everything electronic on this boat, you stay away from. Dad didn't do it. That's not enough to freak out. Not enough, right? Because remember, there's two sides of the story. Not enough to freak out. That's not what freaked him out. Second time, Dad had to be warned. Please stay away from this. Dad, I know what I'm doing. I'm not gonna mess anything up. I know what I'm doing. Sir, I'm going to say there's a lot of boat to walk around here, a lot of places to sit, this and that, a lot of places to fish. Do not stand here. Okay. Third time, Dad stood there. Told him again. Sir, I ain't playing. You just need to stay away from that. Again, I know what I'm doing. I've been around boats my whole life. I know what I'm doing. Kid gets on a fish. They start pulling it in. They start pulling it in, and it's coming in the back of the boat. So boat captain doing what boat captains do and get ready and aid the child in bringing this fish in. What an amazing experience. Here it goes. This is it. We caught a fish. This is so cool. Kid's going to be hooked for life, pun intended. And this is going to be a great thing. We hooked a kid. We got him in. He is going to be an outdoorsman for life because of this experience. Dad, where do you think Dad was taking the pictures from? Where do you think Dad was getting that perfect angle from? Right where he was told, not once, not twice, 3 times not to be. A little bump and a wave or whatever came along. His tuchus, that's butt for those who don't speak Yiddish, hit the throttle and lunged the boat top speed forward, sending the captain to push the kid back and down, and him launching over the outboards behind it, almost losing his life. You don't hear that part of the story. Why? Because the internet. Because of this nonsense on social media, things just spread so quickly, and you think this guy is just an unhinged idiot that just snapped. And I wouldn't blame it, by the way. I used to, one of my goals in life was to have a fishing and dive charter. And I wanted to do that so bad. But then I watched these guys and I hung out with them. And I was like, this is the biggest grind ever. And you deal with morons all the time. So I decided, okay, this guy just finally snapped. Just finally. And it might be part of that. It might be part of it is that he did snap. He's just dealt with enough of these bozos like this guy that just, I know my way around a boat and this and that. It's just obnoxious. But he's one of many. The captain might have just snapped. Does the captain need to, in some way, if he's an employee, be reprimanded? Yes, because there is a way. And I got to tell you, That is the most amount of F's you have ever heard on any of my programs for 17 years, because I, for some reason, magically can turn it off. I use F as a comma. So I curse like a sailor. But when I'm on air, I turn it off. It's like talking to a little kid. I get it. That captain needed to know he was around little kids, and he didn't need to be doing that. He could have just screamed. He could have hollered, so threw some GDs out there, whatever he wanted to do. But he didn't have to lose it like that in front of the kids. But again, in the heat of the moment, dude almost lost his life, or at least it came with potential of. I mean, you go over the back of an outboard, and it's running full speed. Nothing good happens. Nothing good happens. And the adrenaline just kicked in. His fight or flight kicked in, and he just lost it. He lost it. And I don't blame him for that. But I always talk about this. If you've known me for these years, I always talk about the culpability pie. How big of a slice of the culpability? How much of it is your fault? Could you have changed? Right? Eddie, it's exactly what oh man, see? I in show prep this morning, I was thinking of a chum joke. Yeah, he could have become chum. Chum? Yeah, that's right. Chum, for those that don't know, chum is just basically chopped up fish guts and blood that they throw overboard, so predators like sharks come around and things like that. That's what chum is, But Lynn, I appreciate that. So Lynn, I if nothing else, I try to be, and let's see, you and yeah, absolutely. So my crux of really anything I do is please read past the headlines. Like, there's got to be more to this story. I saw this video and immediately pulled it for the show. I wanted it for the show. Immediately saw that. And then I started looking up if there was more. And the way I found the second half of the story, or the other side of the story, was that I was looking for more footage. I'll see if the other kid had a phone or whatever and see what really caused this. Boom. Then I found out what caused it. Because look, I got a short fuse. I pop my top at any time. I can go from zero to nuclear quickly. And so I do understand to a level, but there's a giant slice of this culpability pie. It's almost 50-50 in my eyes. I think both the grown asset adults that were on this boat should have handled themselves more professionally, especially around kids. If it was this guy and two of his buddies, fine, dude. Yeah, fire off. Fire. You have every right to fire off, because that dude's actually acting like a bozo. But you were actually pulling in a kid's fish at this time. Yeah, there's actually, the more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm blaming dad on this one. It sounds weird, right? But the more I am, the more I got to be blaming dad on it, because none of this would have happened had he just listened to your captain. That's not your boat. That's not your fishing tackle. That is not your insurance. That is not your fuel. You simply paid part of the cost of all of that so this guy can make a living. And he's chosen this profession. I get it. But when you are told by the captain, El Capitan, there's a reason why that's his title. He's the boss, applesauce. And when you say, don't stand there, don't stand there. Now, John, are you really 35, buddy? Happy birthday to you, John. John Ross's birthday, everybody in the comments. Go ahead and wish John a happy birthday. Happy birthday, pal. Yeah, that's awesome, man. 35. I'm 49. I keep saying I'm 35, so I don't believe you. Yeah, it takes one to know one, right? It takes a liar to know a liar. And by the way, we are anglers and outdoorsmen. We all lie. We're professional liars. We're the best at it. Let me tell you something. We are the best at it. But a good lesson there. A good lesson there is a few, actually. Watch yourself around kids. Just, you understand, because they're looking to you to be the next outdoorsman. They want to be like you. They want to be just like you. And they want to do what you do. If dad goes fishing, they want to go fishing. If your buddy's dad goes fishing or mom goes fishing, they want to go fishing. And then when this kind of stuff happens, good grief. Absolute good grief. And that any charter, any guide that is going to take you out for a hunt, deep sea guide, maybe the hookup tackle and the Arizona fishing guides with Scooter Griffin, the coolest. I would never see any of these guys get hot. But I would never jack up with their, the $75,000 boats. I wouldn't. If they tell me don't stand here, I won't stand there. So that's a good lesson. Second is please go offshore fishing. We are hours away. Trip to the San Diego, which is H&M Landing, and then there's Dana Point has some as well, and I believe Long Beach. Not sure. Anyway, but it's if you just save up for the trip, it'll be worth it. It's too much fun. If you do want to go on one of those charters, holler at me. I'll give you I'll give you some tips. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that this week. Tips and tricks for the offshore charters. Yes, because it's summertime, and trust me, y'all don't want to be hanging around here. It was 110 degrees, so yeah, a little run out to Santiago might be just what the doctor ordered. And on top of that, the basically the best lesson in this whole thing is read past the headlines. Yeah, don't get fired up. I mean, we have FAFO Fridays, which is fun. But yeah, I mean, sure, there's more to each and every one of these stories, but it is fun to get a little laugh video style, isn't it? All right, let's do this again, shall we? Let's do this again tomorrow, 11 o'clock, right here. Have a great day. It's a little warm out there, but see if you can get out and rock around the block. Yeah. So, you did an overnighter in Newport Beach? Oh, Newport. Yes, that's a good one too. Yes. And a lot of the overnighters, by the way, we'll get to this tomorrow when we talk about the tips and the tricks. But Eddie, I'm telling you, it's good stuff. We'll talk about boats. We'll talk about tips, tricks, all that stuff. Good deals out there, and it's just too much fun. So have a great day, everybody. We'll do this tomorrow at 11 o'clock right here on the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state and world that we live in. Have a great day, everybody.